Into the program, get that first NCAA tournament win last night.
It's such a big deal. I'm really proud of our players. They've worked so hard for the last couple of years and battled adversity and some injuries, and to compete the way we did against a really good team last night. It's a program building moment.
When you hear a guy like BJ Taylor say, "Oh, it was great what the football program did for UCF, but now it's our turn," what does that mean to you when you've got a student athlete who says something like that?
You know, the way we define a championship culture is our student athletes paying attention to and caring about the success of all of our teams. And I love the fact that BJ's watching what's happening in football, and I hope they're all watching what's happening in volleyball and soccer, and women's basketball is doing their part. We want to build a top 25 athletics department across the board, and I think at UCF in Orlando, with the best recruiting base in the country, we can do that.
Have you talked to Dad about tomorrow's game yet?
Yeah, we've been texting back and forth, and so he's on the NCAA committee, so he's in Jacksonville. He can't be here because of the conflict of interest, but he's, I'm sure, a little bit conflicted for tomorrow.
Is there a wager on the game?
No
friendly wager with Dad?
No, it's more awkward than anything like that.
Okay.
Danny, did you think Johnny be able to turn this around and create this winner in such a short period of time?
The minute Johnny Dawkins said yes to become the basketball coach at UCF, I thought we won the lottery. We're very fortunate to have him. I didn't know how long it would take. You know, it's unrealistic. I don't put timelines on these things. I want our coaches to build it where it's sustainable and it's built the right way. And I love what he's doing with our program. Our kids are learning a lot from him. He develops student athletes. He does it the right way. And obviously, we're way ahead of schedule competitively.
Can you talk about some of the feedback you've gotten from the alums about last night and just this run in general?
Yeah, people are excited. You know, it's been a special couple of years, and for us now to be on the national stage again, and in this matchup, there's so many storylines, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And we have, I'm sure, a boatload of people coming up from Orlando tonight and tomorrow, and a lot of people watching on television as well.
Danny, what was going through your mind maybe in the closing minutes last night when you saw that UCF was going to pull it out? Did you maybe reflect on what that program has accomplished and maybe all the other programs, what they've done in just your brief tenure here?
You know, what I was thinking about in the last 12 minutes, I kept looking at the clock and our lead. It's kind of a dangerous place to be in basketball, to be up by that much with that much time left. And in my brief stint coaching, I coached a team as an assistant that played a lot like VCU does. And we actually came back in the NCAA tournament against Florida with a similar we're down by 17 points with about 8 minutes left, and so I was thinking about that the whole time, that this is a very real possibility this team could come back, and our guys showed some maturity. They made the right plays when VCU had all the momentum, and I thought we really handled it well.
With your ties to Duke with your dad, did Johnny's ties to Duke have a lot to do with you hiring him?
Anytime I'm in a coaching search, I'm going to use any relationship and asset I have, and one of the things I like to take pride in coaching searches is knowing what I don't know. And even though I have a basketball background, I don't know today what's happening in basketball circles, but basketball coaches do. And I rely obviously on my brother, but Coach K has been a resource as well. Coach Bray, who I played for at Notre Dame, who's a part of the Duke tree, and they do it the right way. You know, they recruit high-level players, and they develop them the right way. They treat them right, and get the most out of them. And obviously, Johnny's reputation is, I mean, it's elite. Everybody I've called and talked to about Johnny Dawkins, they said, "Are you kidding me? If you can get him at UCF, that would be a grand slam." And I felt the same way.
So you talked to Coach K before you hired him?
I can't remember. I know I've talked to Coach K multiple times during coaching searches. I don't remember if I talked to him specifically about Johnny or not, but I knew what the answer was, and talked to a lot of people.
Danny, we've talked about brand awareness. Getting to the tournament is obviously big, but now the national stage against the #1 overall seed, they can only enhance it.
Yeah, it's a big stage, big game, and I know our guys are ready for it. And we're going to play to win, and I'm excited to see them compete.
Have you seen some of the stuff that's out there? Obviously, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was tweeting about Taco. Sports Center's all on this Taco Zion deal. Just some comments Taco made. Have you kind of noticed that this game tomorrow seems like it's the biggest one in terms of national media attention?
Yeah, and I figured it would be if we could win the first one, and it hasn't disappointed. I know Kareem has been great with Taco for the last couple of years. He has a close relationship with Dr. Richard Lapchick, who runs the DeVos Sport Management program at UCF, and he came and spoke spoke at our graduation here recently, so he's been an awesome friend to UCF and to Taco, and I love just seeing the people with that kind of legacy in the sport of basketball and what they've done for the sport to take some interest in UCF basketball. We're building our tradition. It's really all ahead of us, and we've certainly had a pretty exciting run in football, and now we're starting our run in basketball. And there's not a sport at UCF that we can't be highly competitive in.
This matchup with Duke almost feels like if you guys had gotten a chance to play Alabama in a college football.
It's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, it's great to compete in a tournament that a national champion is determined on the court, and I'd love to see that happen in football, and I think it will. I think the ball's rolling downhill on that. I'd love to see more of the leaders in college football make sure that happens, but it certainly happens in basketball, and our team's going to have our chance to hopefully advance tomorrow.
Shortly after the bracket was unveiled, your father was on CBS television and said he felt a little sick to his stomach when he saw that Duke and UCF were right next to each other in the bracket. When it did pop up, what was your initial reaction when you saw those two names?
During the selection Sunday
show, yeah.
Well, I was sitting right across from Johnny and Tracy Dawkins, and obviously with their Duke connections that go way deeper than mine, it was we all kind of had a unique reaction. We saw that lineup potentially happening, but the first reaction was, "Holy cow! VCU is a heck of a basketball program, and we got to try to figure out how to get through that game."
Specifically unique, like unique in any sort of...
It's close to home. You know, anytime you have such close relationships in our business, college sports is a small world, but you know, I don't want to play my brother in basketball. I know Johnny doesn't want to play Coach K in basketball. I certainly don't want to play my dad if I can avoid it. And we like to support each other. We want everyone to do well, and if you play each other, that's kind of impossible.
The committee claims it doesn't consider storylines when they're making selections. Do you actually believe that?
I don't know. I think it's a great national story with the matchup. Do they consider that in the seeding? I really don't know. I think we had some opportunities down the stretch to help ourselves and get out of the 8-9 game, and our schedule, just the way it played out, and this is probably due in large part to how highly predicted we were in the preseason rankings, but we finished with a gauntlet, and that I think was going to make it difficult to get out of the 8-9 slot.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck.